What's going on, everybody? We back again with another video. 392 Blurred Lines coming at you. Welcome to the channel. Man, it's nice out here today. We gonna get something done today. Yeah, we just making our way out here to the garage, and we gonna see if we can't get something done. We're going to try to get something done today. Yesterday, I did finish up my radiator. Well, I didn't actually finish it up. I just got it to a point where now I'm going to do the bottom brackets, seeing as I done the top. And as I was looking this over, I'm going to go back over a few things I want to go back over. As far as my welds, I want to go back over my welds, and I'm going to smooth these out. I'm going to take a sand and I'm going to smooth them out. Because you know I got to have my stuff right. But I will go back over those welds and make them look a little more presentable. Get them jokers looking like they should be looking, because as I took a good look at it, like, wait a minute, I'm not going to just have my stuff looking whack. So we're going to go back and see if we can't get them done right. Let me open up some doors here. Give me some more light up in this piece. Here, going through my maze. Oh yeah, it's a beautiful day. Beautiful day. See the Cordoba sitting out there. Yeah, sitting in the house. As I was sitting in there, I'm hearing these hot rodders out here. I don't know who it was. They was out here making some noise. Tell you, I have no idea who it was, but they was getting down out here. Over there on the other street. They over there, boy, I don't know who it was. Boat made me half tempted to go jump in the ride and go find out who it was. So like they out there testing and tuning. I mean, they wasn't playing. But we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna see if we can't get something done. I'm gonna jack this thing up and get it up on some stands so I can get up under it to see exactly where I need to put these mounts. And see if we can't make this happen today. I may end up, that helicopter sound like it's pretty low. I may end up going down to the job today and see if I can get something done. Yeah, he is pretty low. See if I can get something done down there. Not working for the job, but for this, because there's a few things that I want to do for this, get done. And one of the things is definitely going to be taking this radiator support back down, putting in the wheelabrator, and also taking down my oil pan and putting that in the wheelabrator as well. And so we can just keep it moving. So those are a few things that I would like to get done today, being Saturday. So we're gonna see if we can't get started, getting something accomplished, because it's not getting no earlier. So stick with me, and we're gonna be back real shortly, and so we can show you what we got going on. All right. Matter of fact, my brother's calling right now, so let me go ahead and get with him. I'll get back with y'all in a minute. All right. What's going on, YouTube? As you can see, different day, totally different day. That day started off out here out in the garage, turned into going hook up, do a little racing, turned into not finishing what I was doing out in the garage. Next day rolls around, out in the garage again doing some more work. Got a little bit more done. Out here working on my radiator mock-up, fitting for that. And I'm gonna show you where we're at right now as far as where we're at with the radiator mock-up. I had to do some figuring out how I want to do this, and I finally have figured it out as to how I wanted to have the radiator sitting. It has to go down so far, and the best solution was to run a rod from frame rail to frame rail, weld that rod, and then the radiator would then sit down on top of that rod. So that's what I did. And I'll turn you around and show you where we're at with that. I put this rod in here for the radiator to sit down on top of. And not only just to sit on top of it, but it will also keep the radiator from moving in a way to where it doesn't hold stationary. The lip on the bottom of the radiator will rest back behind this, so it cannot go toward the engine. So that was a pretty good design as to how we did that. So I did get that part of it done. I did finish up my radiator support. So I did take this down, and I did put in the Wheelabrator. Got it nice and clean. Sand got all the paint off. Wasn't no sand. The Wheelabrator does all that. Got all the paint off of it, so when I do put it back in, it will be free of paint. Well, not free of paint, but when I do put it back in, it will have a nice fresh coat of paint on it. But I did get this all mocked up, and I also have decided that as I put the radiator in, I will put a bracket across the top of it. Not so much as a bracket, but a covering. So as the radiator sits down inside the car like so, it will have a covering that will cover up all of this. So you won't see any of this, how it mounts or anything like that. It'll come directly across the top of that radiator, so you will not even see any of that. But that's something that we have to do. It's going to take a little while to mock that part of it up. And as you see, I did Wheelabrate my oil pan, and come out very well as far as being clean. Come out very well. So we're gonna see if we can't get that paint in it, and I'm probably gonna paint it the same color as I did the engine, which is cast iron gray. There's a possibility I could go with silver. I don't know. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Right now, we're still trying to get this radiator support along with the radiator mounts taken care of. I had to go down and get the right length bolts for it. The bolts that I had were extremely too long, so I went down and got some 3/8 by 1.5, and they should do the job sufficiently. But I'm going to try to get something done today. So we're going to shut this thing down because I want to get a little something done out here, and we're going to come right back at you a little later on. All that being said, 392 Blurred Lines. Peace out. All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to see if we can go ahead and finish our mock-up. And it just consists of putting our radiator brace back in and bringing our radiator and making sure everything mounts up correctly. Once again, you hear some noise in the background. Got a fan on out here, a little bit warm today. So I do have this fan circulating, trying to move this air. talking about in here, this lip, that angle, not that angle, but that rod is going to catch that lip. It's going to hold it in its place. Just like so. Don't go nowhere. So, that is the whole concept of how I wanted to do this. There's brackets up top. That's what's going to hold this in place. And what I wanted to do here, I want to take this aluminum and I'm going to fabricate it, shape it to where it will meet the contour of this area. And we'll sit across the whole top. It's going to cover up this whole top portion, which is going to be something such as that, just to cover that up, to just give it a better appearance, a better look from the top view or from the side view, whatever angle you're looking at it, just to give it a more presentable presentation as to how it looks. But that's what we're going to go with. That's exactly what we'll go with. I may just take it right to the edge. That's not bad. Right there. Knowing that this is going to take a little while, I'm not going to bore you guys with all that. I'm going to go ahead, see if I can get this fabricated, and then I'll come back and show you the results as to how it come out. So stick with me, and I'll be right back. YouTube, what's going on? Back again, 392 Blurred Lines. Now, time has passed. I started working on this radiator support. Pretty close to being done with it. Just always seemed like there was something coming up that would distract me from getting it done. But now I'm at the last leg of it. So where I'm at right now, I have the radiator mount support bracket covering. I'm gonna call it a covering. I have that completed. I have it taped off. Now I just need to, I want to drill a couple of holes in it. I want to tap it, and that will allow me to mount it. I want to be able to mount this to where it's stationary, but it will be removable. So right now, I'm gonna show you where I'm at as far as having it taped off and ready to drill and tap the holes in it. I've started other videos pertaining to finishing this thing, and it just seemed like there was always something that would take my time away from trying to get it finished. It's always something. Somebody either stopped by or something was going on, but at the particular time when something was happening, we was out racing. So that's what kind of preoccupied me, along with a few other things. But I'll turn you around. I'll show you where we're at right now. We're going to find the positioning where we're going to drill these holes. I'm not exactly sure what size I want to drill them yet. I know when I did the inside, I used a lot of 1024 button head screws, and I was thinking about using the same kind of screws to to mount it down, but I think I want to use a little bigger size. I may want to go at a 1/4-20 instead of a 10/24. This is an awfully small screw, little socket cap screw, so that's what I'll be using. You know, I don't want to put a gaudy bolt up on top, so I will put a button head screw, which is rounded, on the top. So let me turn you around and I'll show you where I'm at, and see if we can't go from there and decide exactly what we're going to do with this particular mounting of this radiator support bracket cover. So right now, as you can see, we do have it taped off. I have it all mocked up. It will cover up the brackets that hold the radiator in place. And that was the whole purpose. I wanted to cover up those brackets that sat here. There was a bracket that sat here and a bracket that sat here. And we wanted to cover those brackets up so that it just kind of, it flows, it blends. As you can see, I haven't yet painted my radiator support. I still have to take that and paint it. But as far as my covering, I'm considering, because this right here, this, under this is the thick part of those brackets. It's pretty thick. So this would be the best place to drill the holes for the button head screws. As you can see, we have the 3/8 16 threaded bolts here and here. So if I do the button head screws, I will want to go in between those. So I would say directly in the center between those bolts, drill my hole and tap that particular area of those aluminum brackets. And it's pretty thick, so I'm looking at, I believe it was 1.5 inches thick. So I have plenty to drill down into and to tap as deep as I need to go. Not completely through, but deep enough to where I got enough bolt sticking down in it. As I said, these little 3/8 in length bolts here are just not ideal for something of this magnitude, for something of this size to hold down, considering we're building a car that's going to be rumbling, a car that's going to be vibrating and shaking. And so I think that I better just go ahead and get these same type of screws, but make them button head. As a matter of fact, I do have one. Now these here, I may use these, knowing that I'm going to put one here, one here. I may use these small ones, and I may put 2 up on each side of up here, where the bottom of the front of the bracket is. I may go ahead and drill me a couple of small spots and tap a couple of small spots up here to put these little 3/8. I don't know yet. I'll see how that goes. I'll see how that plays out. I don't know, maybe because I know this will be back here holding it down in the back. Of course, it would be sturdy enough to where it's not going to try to lift up, but another one in the front couldn't hurt. So I may go with these smaller ones in the front. We're definitely not going to go with the bigger ones in the back because it's not as thick up in the front as it is in the back. So that's the plan for today. We're going to see if we can't get that done. I may need to make a run down to Menards to see if I can find the right bolts that I need, and we'll go from there. We will go with 1/2 inch. Yes, indeedy. Yes, indeedy. So we will tap, drill, and tap 1/4-20, and then we'll come back up here, and then we'll drill and tap for these 10/24. That's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and take care of that. As I said, I was always getting sidetracked, but today being Friday, I'm not going to get sidetracked today. I'm gonna get this thing finished, and I will possibly get this radiator support bracket back painted, because I do need to put paint back on it. It is down to the bare metal because I sent it through the wheel abrader the other day. So I would definitely want to put some paint on that. And then my radiator mock-up should be complete after I get that taken care of. And then we'll move on to something a little bit different, which will possibly be, and I'm pretty sure that it's going to be mocking up, well, making sure that my oil pan is going to be fitting correctly. So that's where we're at for today, and that's where we're going to get started. And we'll get right back with you in a little while and show you what we got going on. All right, be right back in just a minute. All right, everybody, we're back. This particular moment, we're going to go ahead and we're going to see if we can get these holes drilled, get them tapped, and as I stated, we're going to make these a 1/4 20, so we need to find out exactly what size drill that we need to use so that we can tap these threads at a 1/4 20. So if you don't have one, you may want to get you one, get you a chart so that you'll know. If you're going to do any threading, any tapping, anything of that nature, you need to have you something to know. Don't just try to just wing it and just put a hole and say this should be big enough to tap. The best thing to do so that you have the right amount of threads. You know, you got a minimum that you can have as far as threads. So you want to know exactly how much you're able to leave, how big of a drill you can use, how small of a drill you don't want to use, or you'll find yourself breaking something off in something. Then you're trying to get your little easy out to get something that you broke in out of something. So get you a chart so you can find out exactly what size you need to go. So we're looking for a 1/4 20, which, if you can see that, 1/4 20 is going to be a number 7 drill. So that's the size that we're going to go so that we can get that 1/4 20 thread in this aluminum. Now, sometimes when you're drilling harder materials, sometimes you can go a little bit higher on the drill size so that it's easier to tap. But because this is aluminum, I'm not going to go any bigger. I'm going to leave it at exactly what it specifies, what it calls for, which is a number 7 drill. So, number 7 looks like it is a number 201 in diameter. So we're going to go with a number 7, 201, and get you a nice set of drills. When you're trying to get something done, I recommend going out and get you a nice set of drills. I'm trying to use some of the best stuff because I want the best results. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to use this number 7. So let's get this taken care of and see if we can get something done, make something happen. I was going to do this, I was going to take this down to the job to do, but I'm not going all the way down there to drill a couple holes and tap a couple holes. I can do that right here. That's what I say. Could be wrong. I know at a drill press it'd be a lot easier going straight down as to going on an angle. But we're going to try to find the right location for this. Right in there. And normally I would use a center drill, but I'm not going to use a center drill today. Marked on the aluminum down inside the block. I already have my hole in my cover. So go down to the other side. So right now I'm just making sure I get a mark on the block under this cover. Right there. Now we have our location. We know where we're going. this. Shake this off. So we have our holes in our cover. I don't want to make those too much bigger than needed because I don't want to have to put a washer or a big gaudy washer under the button head screw. The button head screw, it does have a nice little lip on it. It has a nice lip on it, so it should be fine. It's going to have to be, the hole's going to have to be bigger than that for this to fit. So we're going to go to a little bigger size to get that just to where it's the size for the bolt to fit. We're going to use the cap head screw itself. We may put a washer on it just so that it has something to mount down against and it doesn't scar up this cover too much. Of course, I'm not going to see much of it anyway. But with that being said, we do have our holes in our brackets. So having our holes in our brackets now allows us to know where we're going to put our holes at. So we're going to see if we can't get those put in and get them tapped. It would be real nice to take this down, put it in a drill press. It'd be nice to have a drill press, but since I don't, we're gonna just do the best that we can. And it is what it is. And I went a little extra deeper because of the threads. They're not complete threads at the end of the tap. So I want to go deep enough so that I knew that I had enough threads down inside the block. So the first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna put a little oil on this. We definitely wanna keep it oiled up. Thread it down as straight as we possibly can, just the same as drilling the hole. You want to drill it as straight as you can. Next laying. And what I do when I'm tapping, I like to break that chip, go down, and then I'll back it out. Down, back it out. Down, back it out. What that does, it allows you to break that chip. You don't want to keep just trying to go down in it, because what that end up doing, you end up snapping off your tap. And then you are in a pickle because you can't get that tap back out of that hole. So I'll go down, I'll back it out. Go down, I'll back it out. And I'll do this quite a ways down, and I'll take it all the way back out. Put a little more oil on it, because there's no hurry. You don't have to be in a hurry when you do something that's meticulous. Take your time so that you don't have to go back and try to redo it over again because you messed up, because you're trying to be so quick about doing, try to be all fast. Don't be fast about it, take your time. you'll know when it bottoms out. You'll feel it when it bottoms out. See right there, that's the bottom. That's the bottom. That's considered deep enough. Don't have to go any deeper than that. Usually I'll have a bottoming tap so that I can take it all the way to the bottom of that hole. And he's at the bottom. But in this case, I'm not going that deep with it. I don't have to go all the way to the bottom of the hole. Just enough for my threads. Seeing that I'm not going down as deep as the boat that I was going to get, maybe I'll just end up getting a boat. I'll find out when I screw this one down in. I'll see exactly how deep this one actually goes to determine what length ¼ cap screw I'm going to need for these. See exactly how deep these will go down inside there. And you know, I'm going to blow these out as well. I need to blow these holes out, get the oil out of them, get the chips that are down in the bottom of them out. And I possibly will go a little bit deeper with that tap. Maybe not particularly that tap, because I'm sure that I have another ¼ tap. Matter of fact, I just saw one the other day, so I know I have another one. That may be a bottoming tap, and I will go deeper with them to make the boat hole threads deeper. So let me check that out, and I'll get right back to you guys in a little while, and I'll show you where we're at with that. All right, peace out. Okay, taking it off. I did have another tap. I did take that. I chased those threads with that tap, which allowed me to go deeper. Now I can see exactly how deep those threads actually go to determine the length of the bolts that will be needed to finish this off. Which goes a nice little ways. Now we will see how much is remaining. Which is approximately 520 thousandths. So we have 520 thousandths remaining. Started off 1 1/4, 520 remaining. So it looks like 730 thousandths, almost 3/4 of an inch in length. So I can go with a 5/8 screw or a 1/2 inch to be plenty enough for those threads. The last screw went down, last tap toe went down 520. Well, 520 was remaining. So let's see exactly how deep this one does go. And with this one, we have an exact, or how close can you ask for it? Only about 22 thousandths less than the last one. So that wasn't too bad as far as just eyeballing it, drilling the hole to a certain depth. So this one went down. This one went down 22 thousandths less as to the last one. So we know that we're deep enough on this side with this one. Now we can go ahead and drill another set of holes up in the top. We'll put these back on, put our plate back on, and then we will drill our holes in the top of the cover. So stick with me and we'll be right back with that as well. All right, YouTube, we'll be back. We back. Just made that run, had to run down to Menards, get a few bolts. They did have 1/2 inch, they didn't have 5/8, so I got 1/2 inch, 1/4 20s, and I also picked up some 3/8 16 1.5 inch. These will take the place of the bolts in front. I had some bolts in front, and I wasn't too crazy about them because they're so bulky. They were 3/8 16. They were these type of bolts. So I wanted to go with some 3/8 16 button head, the same as I went with in the top. I did go ahead, get my 1024 threads put in. I already have those button head screws in. I just needed to go down, get the 1/4 20. Got the 1/4 20, so we're going to see if we can't get those put in right now and finish this thing up. Oh yes, let me get me an Allen wrench for that, and I'll also grab an Allen wrench for these. Alrighty. That's for that one. And the other one for the other side. And these are stainless steel. All of them. I don't want them rusting later on, so I did go with the stainless steel. There was something else that I like the idea of. I like the fact that I can remove this along with the brackets that hold the radiator in place. That was one thing I did like about this whole setup. When I first originally done this, I just was going to go with those 2 brackets on top, but after being persuaded to make a cover for this, I decided to go ahead and make me a cover. So now I don't have to remove the cover before removing the brackets. Once I take these new bolts that I just bought, these 3/8 16s, once I remove these, the whole top will then come off. I can remove the whole radiator in one whole shot. So that was a good thing about doing this, bolting the brackets to this top cover, because it allowed me to be able to remove all of it in one unit to where I don't have to do it in separate pieces. So that was a good thing. So I will show you exactly how that works. Those loose. These bolts, which will be replaced with the button head screws, I will be able to remove the entire assembly. The brackets, they will stay connected to the cover, the plate, and easily able to remove the radiator. Simple as that. Just put it in. Sits down. Right down on the rod that I put in the bottom to hold it. Then the cover along with the brackets. Then go down on top. Bring it back. And insert 3/8/16 bolts. Just like so. So, that's how that worked out. Worked out pretty good. No complaints. All right, let me find the right Allen wrench for that. That's that. Okay, so I went with the 1024 button head screws here, 1/4 here. Got them uniform, lined up nicely. And I went with the 3/8/16 in the front button head, as well as over on this side. And I still have yet to take this, I gotta paint it. And it should be all right. It should come out all right. I'm pretty much pleased with it. I'm not a professional at all by any means. I'm nowhere near a professional at doing any of this stuff. I just did it to the best of my ability, what I'm able to do. I'm sure somebody could have done better. Now you see these smudges. Now I'll take this back now that I got everything laid out, how it worked. It fits fine. And I'll take it back and I'll take it back to the job and I'll run it through the Vonnegut and get this real nice finish on it again. And then what I'll do, I will put some clear coat over it so that it won't have these smudges anymore. But I'll buy the clear coat that is for heat, that it will not be affected by the heat of the radiator or the heat of the engine itself. So I will get the clear coat that is for engines itself. And when I spray that on this, it will keep this luster instead of having these smudges from fingerprints, things like that. But other than that, it will come out fairly decent when I get done with it. Who knows? I may even send it out to anodizing. I don't know. Who knows? We'll see when we get to that point.